Good afternoon and welcome to Investor Schooling Live. Coming to you from Investor Schooling headquarters, I'm Phil Falcone, here with my business partner, Larry Steinhaus. We are the founders of Investor Schooling. Get ready to learn real estate investing and stock option investing. Call us anytime during the show with your questions at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. That's right, we're a live program, so you can call us anytime during the show, and we will take your calls. Don't worry about what we're talking about. If you got a different question, that's fine, because we love to take your calls. Investor Schooling is located in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, serving the Philadelphia area in a real brick-and-mortar building. That's correct. We are local guys accessible to our students a minimum of 2 nights per week. Learn this business, the business of real estate investing and stock option investing, from people who live it every day. So let me give you some topics about what we're going to be talking about today. Here's just a few of the topics, besides whatever else we talk about. Shouldn't we be warning beginning investors to learn something first? Might be a good idea. Are hedge funds like BlackRock still buying up entire neighborhoods? I believe they are. We're going to talk about that. Does the individual investor need to act now? Interesting. Gold versus silver. Are they difficult to buy these days? We're going to talk a little bit about that. Was 2020 the first year where more new houses were built than the population grew? Ooh, interesting. Is flipping more dangerous now than it was in recent years? And then we're going to end our show, last 10 minutes of our show, we're going to have a visitor, the Stock Option Sultan, with Picks of the Week. This is the one segment of our show where you could potentially pick up some great stock tips and make some moves next week to make yourself some money. So, Larry, what's happening?
So I have to tell you something yesterday. I went car shopping again.
Yeah, what'd you get?
Well, I certainly didn't have to wear a mask, that's for sure. So if you heard the story a few weeks ago, I didn't have to wear a mask. But I didn't buy it yet. But I was driving a BMW M8 convertible. It was freaking awesome. It was one of the most incredible cars I've ever driven.
It's a convertible, right?
It's convertible, yeah.
Yeah, actually one drove by me on the way here today.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, it did.
It wasn't me.
It really caught my eye.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I was in the car with the guy, and the guy's like, because he's showing me this car. It's a $160,000 car. He goes, what do you do? He's probably qualifying me. I'm sure. He goes, what do you do? And I go, well, I have a school. We teach people how to invest in real estate in the stock market. And I go, oh, what time is it? And he goes, it's 2:20. I go, oh, put on 12:10, because that was yesterday. That was when the repeat's on. So I put on 12. I said, put on 12:10. And just when he turns it on, the commercial comes on, and he hears your voice. Mm-hmm. And he goes, is that you? I go, no, that's not me. Listen a little bit more. And then sure enough, the commercial comes on with my voice. And then we start listening to the show while we're driving. We pulled up to the BMW dealer after I was done with the test drive. He wouldn't get out of the car. He wanted to listen to the whole show. He loved it.
This was in D-Town?
This was, in D-Town, yeah. Mm-hmm. Pretty funny. It was actually interesting. So I was seriously thinking about that car, but no. That car is a mortgage payment. That is so expensive.
Well, I believe that's the car that drove right by me today on Bustleton Avenue on my way up here.
See, they're going to be everywhere now.
And he had his windows up, but he had his top down. At first, I thought it was a Z4, and then as he got closer to me, I realized it wasn't.
It's a big difference in size.
It's bigger, but it's pretty similar in shape. It's similar.
Yeah, you're right. It's similar in shape.
It's not quite as low. It doesn't have all the curves. Mine's from a 2011 anyway, but it was a sharp car. Definitely caught my eye.
I thought it was neat that the guy was like he thought he was sitting there with somebody special.
Yeah, until he gets to know you.
What are you trying to say, Phil?
Did I say that out loud?
I don't know, man. What come on, you want to start? Let's go. I mean, if you're sitting there with you, then he would have said, hey, whatever.
He sounds like a mafioso shyster.
So do you,
was that the wrong timing? Was that the wrong timing for that?
No, it's fine. Any of these topics interest you?
So I found it very interesting. The first one you said, shouldn't we be warning beginning investors to learn something first?
Yeah, why don't we talk about that?
So what do you mean by that exactly, first of all?
Okay, so I've noticed a lot of young people who have no knowledge whatsoever, no particular skills whatsoever about investing, and in many cases they don't even have money, but they've decided that they're going to be investors.
Right.
So it's kind of a lot like what happened in the summer of 2000. We had a lot of day traders People started day trading, and everybody was a day trader. And then in the summer of 2000, when the market had a meltdown, they all went away, and you couldn't find a day trader, no matter how hard you
That's
looked.
true. And there was a couple of survivors.
Yeah.
Now, I'm finding it interesting that you and I are going through this right now where all these people are coming in, they have no idea what they're doing, and they're actually affecting us, and they're affecting the market, which is actually making it more difficult for us, and they're getting lucky on a play or two and thinking that they're going to gamble their life away and they're going to keep winning and winning and winning, and it's not going to happen. So it's kind of a dangerous time right now. You've heard there's a story. It's an old tale about Rockefeller getting his shoe shined by the shoe shine boy, and the shoe shine boy is giving him stock advice, and Rockefeller goes home that day and sells all his stocks because he says if shoe shine boys are giving stock advice, it's time to get out of the stock market. And sure enough, that was the crash, the Great Depression crash. And there are signs of that right now that are really scaring me. Not just people with stock options and stocks and have no idea what they're doing, but then there's Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of these other plays that are really making me nervous that the stock market needs to correct just to shake these guys out.
You know, I don't necessarily blame the young people who are getting into the market and trying to manipulate it. I feel like the government's probably responsible for more of the problems than the young people are. I mean, the young people may be banding together and trying to manipulate some stocks, but it's not like you can't figure out who's doing it and what they're doing, what stocks they're doing it to.
Well, it's not so much the manipulation, that they're manipulating it. It's that they have no clue what they're doing. I mean, when you're writing stocks like GameStop and AMC, I mean AMC is worth $6 as a stock, a valuation stock. It's worth about $6 high, and it's in I don't even know. I think it was in the 70s the last time I looked at it. It's ridiculous where a stock like that should be in the 70s. It should not be in the 70s.
So AMC, is that the movie company or is that the television
theaters.
channel?
The theaters.
Because AMC has their own television station. I was watching it today.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I went to visit my father, and he was watching AMC, and I thought to myself, so they're not just a movie company. They also have a production company that releases...
Yeah, it's 60 right now. And if we do the evaluation on this stock, I'm just going to do it real quick, just to take a look. I mean, this stock is trading... It's got absolutely no profit. It's trading a negative... It's a negative multiple of 20... It's ridiculous. The numbers are way too high for this. So it should be $6 or $7 is pretty much what I figure it should be. So that's why it doesn't make any sense to me. But again, it is what it is. Something will happen.
Well, I guess what I wanted to prompt as a conversation here is, there's a lot of people out there who don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if this is a difficult and scary time to be an investor in the stock market and possibly in the real estate market, let's say both, okay, then this is a wonderful time to learn something first. Learn something. Spend 6 months or a year learning about the stock market, learning about real estate. And then maybe a year from now or 6 months from now, we may find ourselves in a safer environment where you could actually make moves and make money.
Well, I'll tell you something else that's also nice about this, too. If you start learning this business now, when the market pulls back and the deals are out there, you're going to have the experience to know how to buy them. Because it's not just learning how to talk to sellers, but it's having the experience. The first couple of times you go talk to a seller, you're probably going to blow it. But so what?
Of course.
You keep going to other sellers and keep talking to the sellers. I remember the first time I talked about a seller, about seller financing, and I had no idea what I was talking about. Mm-hmm. And I sound like an idiot. And sure enough, a couple of months later, I became the expert on seller financing. It's easy to do it after you keep talking about it and talking about it and talking about it.
The best way to learn how to do it is to just do it.
Sure.
You do it, and you do a wholesale deal. All of a sudden, you understand wholesale deals, don't you?
Right, exactly.
You need the right paperwork. You need the right advice on how to do it. You need experienced people that can solve whatever potential problems come up with a deal. But, I did a recent coaching call with Damien, and he went right into some title issues, and I just set him straight. Like, you're worrying about the wrong thing.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's funny. We'd have people say, "What if the seller says this? What 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 if the seller says this?" Have you spoken to the seller yet? No. Do you even know who the seller is yet? No. Then who cares what the seller's going to say if you don't even know who they are yet?
What if a tree falls on the road that I'm driving on the way to the house? What do I do?
Right.
You know, it's like people just when they're uncomfortable in a circumstance because they don't have the experience, they create these barriers for themselves, which maybe they just do it subliminally, and then they come to the school and they ask us to solve these problems, and that's usually when we tell them everything you just said doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, most of the time they're hypothetical questions,
Right.
which is it's very funny.
Yeah.
But I posted something in a group on Facebook today, and it was something like this. It was newbies always say they have no money, they have no credit, they have no job, and they want to know if they can still be a real estate investor. And it's funny because they always say that. And I got a lot of flack for that post. I got a lot of people saying, boy, that was so mean of you. And on the other side, I got what I expected was people saying, yes, you could do it. All you need is put your mind to it, which is what I really was hoping for the answer to be. But it's very funny. The glass is half full versus the glass is half empty. And I saw the pessimists all yell at me and the optimists all say, yes, you can do it. And the best way to do it is how?
To just do it.
Well, come to investor schooling and learn how first.
Of course.
You know, we are
You have
trying
to-
we are trying to promote investor schooling, right?
Yeah, well, if you'd like to learn about real estate investing or stock option investing, how about coming to a free class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock? We're right in Langhorne, easy to get to. Just go to investorschooling.com and save a seat for yourself, and you can bring anybody you want. And if you behave yourself at that free class, we might actually invite you to a complimentary class that comes next.
Hey, Phil, we got Sharita on the line. Let's find out what's going on with Sharita from Richmond, Virginia. What's going on, Sharita?
Hey, hi guys, how you doing?
We're doing great. How can we make you a real estate investor today, or are you already?
Well, I'm actually a wholesale investor here in Richmond, Virginia,
Cool.
and I started my career in Philadelphia. But the question I have for you today is related to stocks.
Okay.
Can you give me some advice on Netflix?
All right. What's the question? Exactly.
The question is, would you invest in stock Netflix?
Oh, Netflix specifically. So Netflix is just a little high for me.
Netflix.
That's what bothers me about Netflix. Just the price is just high. I was in and out of Netflix a few times, and then it just got ridiculously high. So I mean, what are you gonna do? At $500? It's just a tough one. I don't know if are you investing in the stock or are you investing in stock options?
I'm investing. I belong to an investment club here in Richmond, Virginia, and I have my own personal stocks off from the investment club. But it sounds like I'm not really sure what the stock options are.
Okay.
But I'm investing in stocks right now.
Okay, so you should send the entire investment club over here. Have us teach them stock options, because you will learn something pretty amazing that you could leverage your money pretty strong. So, are you guys considering buying Netflix right now? Is that the situation, or have you already bought it?
We have several stocks already in our portfolio.
Okay.
I am personally considering buying Netflix.
Okay, so it's kind of at a low in the chart at 500. It's low in the chart, and you probably could ride it back up to 530, 535. See, if it was a stock option, those are the numbers I would be giving you. Now would be a good time to buy it, and I would ride it to 530, probably tops, and then you sell it and you break a whole bunch of money in the stock option. By the way, that would be a nice play if you did that. But as a stock goes, it's at 500. It's 62 times earnings. And no dividend. I don't know. And we also, I'm telling you, we've been talking about a drop coming in the market, so that would scare me a little bit too. But if it's not the end of the world if you buy it, a few 10, 20, 30, whatever 50, 100 shares, whatever you do, and as long as you can afford to be able to go down in that a little bit, it'd be fine. But as a stock, I can't. I tell you what, you want to buy a good stock for your club, buy Apple. It's Apple's at 130-ish, 129-ish. That's a stock you could buy, hold, and not worry about. When Apple hits 400 or 500, that's when you need to start worrying about it the way I'm talking about it now. I think Apple is a good long-term play, and you'll be fine with it.
We if I'm not mistaken, we already have Apple.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. Look, it sounds like your group is diversified. So if you put a little bit of money into Netflix, I don't think it's a bad thing. I just don't think it's a great thing. That's all. I don't think it's going to drop a lot. I don't think it's going to raise a lot. I think you'll be fine with it as a speculation play.
And as we were just talking about, what we were talking about was if you're a beginner investor, this is a great time to learn something about the market because we see some pretty choppy waters ahead in the next 6 months, let's just say. And we also are fearful of this hyperinflation and potential crash in the real estate market as well as in the stock market. So this is a really good time to hunker down and learn something about the stock market and about real estate. And one place you could do that is at investorschooling.com. Why don't you go there and sign up to attend a class via Zoom? By the way, how'd you find out about us you're in Virginia, you said?
Oh, we lost you.
Right.
Okay, we lost you. Okay,
I guess
fine.
she hung up.
All right, cool. Hey, listen, just wanted to let you know, Scott on Facebook asked you to say something really important. If you take a look over here.
Yeah, I saw it.
Can you say it? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just for his sake, why'd you do it?
Get your butt to Investor Schooling this Thursday night at 7 p.m.
So Scott on Facebook, do you feel better now that you told Phil to say get your butt to Investor Schooling and he did it? All right. Anybody else want to call in with any questions? 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. You can ask us questions about the stock market, real estate, money. We're going to talk about gold and silver, aren't we, in a little while?
Yeah, but we can go to that topic if you want to right now.
Yeah, why don't we? We're right there anyway.
You want to bounce around? Go ahead.
So we talk about gold and silver a lot in the school. One of the things about gold and silver, it's a great thing to have in and as we talked about last week, the zombie apocalypse, where I can buy milk from my neighbor with silver and gold. I like holding on to silver and gold just for that reason, the actual physical silver and gold. It's not that much of an investment to me. However, it just happens to go up. It's like owning a house that you live in. You don't buy a house that you live in for an investment. You buy a house to live in it, and it just happens to go up over the years, and you buy it for whatever, $200,000, you sell it for $300,000. Great, it went up. It wasn't really an investment, but it did help you. It kept your mortgage payment down. You didn't have to have rent raises, and you happen to make money in the end. It's the same thing to me with silver. I'm holding on to silver just to hold on to it because it's separate from everything. If banks are closed, I could still use it. And again, same thing with gold. I hold on to it. This way, I don't have to worry about it. So that's why I like silver and gold. Now, as far as buying it, I pretty much buy it online, and I probably pay $3 over spot for it for silver per ounce because I'm not that interested in the price. I'm more interested in holding it. But if you really wanted to build a business of buying silver and gold, you could buy silver and gold just like we buy houses. You could put out ads and say we buy silver and gold. Most people pay anywhere from 50 to 70% of the spot price. They weigh it and pay 50 to 70% of the spot price. And part of that is because there's some risk in buying silver and gold from people. And the risk is that, maybe it's not real. I mean, you can test it, but you don't know. You don't know if it's been plated, very thickly plated, and there's some weight to it, and that may be the problem. So if you're buying silver and gold, you really need to know what you're doing. If I'm buying silver and gold, I'm buying it from places on the internet that I know that are, good places that have good reputations. And because I'm buying them, I'm not worried about it.
Are you having any trouble buying it?
Yeah, no, not at all. I did it for a while, but not anymore. I know now. I understand what you're asking. No, I didn't. Sometimes it took 6 weeks to ship it, but now I'm getting it pretty much within a week. It's not like it was before. People weren't hoarding it.
It's not like it's in scarce availability.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, hey, we got Sam from Newark on the line. What's going on, Sam?
Hey, hi. How you doing?
Good, man. What's going on?
Father's Day, by the way. No, pretty much. If you had a cash flowing property. Would you hold it? Would you sell it?
So that's such a loaded question because it's a loaded question because I don't know your personal situation. I don't know why. I'm holding all my properties until the day I die because my properties are my retirement plan. That's my goal. My goal is to live off my properties. So if anything happens to me, let's say in 5 years, I get hit by a car and I can't walk anymore, I can't speak anymore, we can't be on the radio anymore, whatever the situation is, I know that I'll have income coming in from my properties for the rest of my life, and then eventually those properties go to my kids. You know, all my properties have gone up. I mean, I think I've gone up probably since the beginning of the year. I'm going to go somewhere between $1 million and $1.2 million in property value has gone up since the beginning of the year of all my properties. Honestly, it may even be more than that. I come to think of it. And sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I should sell them because I got a whole lot of equity in there. But why would I want to sell it? What am I going to do with the money? So the best place for me to do is to leave the money there or leave the properties and collect the rent. And as I start to pay them off or completely pay them off, and some of them will be, then I have that rent coming in forever and I never have to worry about it.
Well, I concur. I would say that when I got in this business in 1989, I inherently knew that real estate was one of the safest places to ever put your money. I mean, because my parents bought their house in 1969, and my dad still lives in that house 52 years later.
Did they change the wallpaper yet?
Yeah, they did a lot of changes. But my dad bought the house for $30,000 in 1969. It's now worth about $450,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so, I think it works out to be like 7 times it doubled.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe it was 6 times last time I looked at it. But and it's something you can use, and it generates income for you, and somebody else pays all the bills. It's so many benefits to it.
Yeah, exactly. So, Sam, do you have a lot of properties?
No, pretty much because I got it for $400,000. I mean, few of them. It's $400,000 back in November, and I'm being offered today $720. So I was thinking, my goodness, I would never pay for the $720 myself, with all due respect. But I was thinking maybe it's time just say goodbye and.
So,
Okay.
Somebody offered you $700,000 for a property you just bought for $400,000?
Yes,
Wait, how long ago did you buy it?
3 of them. In November.
Yeah, I'd sell them.
So, did you get a real offer? Did you get proof of funds? Or is it just somebody talking to you? 'Cause people
Talking actually, because across the street they sold a much smaller house, much cheaper, much smaller house and much more expensive. So they said your house is definitely even they talk about 800 at this point. I go, it's impossible. I believe when I see it.
So I'm struggling with understanding what he's saying. It's not that clear.
Well, so if you stand to make $300,000 in less than a year, that's what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay, just be prepared that you're going to have to pay some taxes on that money. But it sounds like, yeah, well, look, if I have a building for sale. I have a building that is not for sale, but somebody just offered me a number for it. And the number that they offered me for it was the kind of number that I would offer somebody to buy their property, right? It was based off of the rent roll, what's the rent roll, and that kind of thing, right? And my answer to that guy was no. I'm not going to sell the building, really. I'll just keep it if that's all I'm going to get. I'd have to be overpaid in order for me to sell this particular property. And it sounds like somebody's overpaying you, but I'm not very familiar with the area your property's in. Is this in Newark?
No, this is Montclair.
Montclair,
New Jersey, yeah.
New Jersey?
Yeah, I know where
Okay.
it is. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be. There's a lot more questions to ask. But look, if you're up that much in that short of time, it might be a play. If you're young, it might be a play. Like I said, I'm buying properties for retirement. You may be buying properties for cash, and that's fine. You want to make money, that's good. If it's that much, and you aren't buying properties for long term, I think it's a good idea to sell it if it's up that much. To answer your question, hey Sam, why don't you pop in, man? Talk to us a little bit about it more. If you pop in, come to Investor School and come to a class on Thursday, and we can talk to you more about it.
Nobody went broke taking a profit.
Yeah. Very cool. Hey,
And also, am I allowed to ask another question? Am I allowed to? Or
if you make it quick.
okay, on development, with the cost right now, cost of lumber, would you still do development now, or would you rather wait for development?
But there's way too many.
Sorry.
Questions I got to ask you on that one. But lumber should have nothing to do with it. If you can make money, you make money. Who cares what the lumber is? It doesn't mean. And by the way, lumber's going back down. It's already 80% of its high, so it's already going down. But the answer, of course, I don't know. I'd have to find out all about it. But come in, we'll talk more about it in person. But I appreciate the call, man.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. All right. Do you want to go to the next caller? We have another caller.
Sure. Let's
We
do
have a
it.
caller from California. We got Art from California. What's going on, Art?
Well, I love your show. I found it last week, and you guys are amazing. So here's my question. Being in California, to have an LLC is about $850 a year just for the Sacramento business part of it.
What, is that?
Can I?
Is that because you need a what's it called? A designated. I forgot what it's called. I don't know. Okay, but is it just because of taxes, or is it because
Well-
you need a designated? What's it called? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But go ahead. Sure.
Well, yeah, it's just the cost of opening up, registering it, getting a process server, et cetera, to have an LLC. Now, I've talked to folks in Oklahoma. That, oh man, it's like $150.
Okay.
That's California. So here's my question. Can I open up an LLC outside of California for a California property?
And the answer is absolutely yes.
Would you-
Absolutely yes. So some people even open up a lot. They'll do a lot of LLCs in Vegas and in Delaware because they're the least, or the most, I should say. They're the most friendly for the owner of the LLC. In other words, there's not the lawsuits. It's harder to sue the people who have LLCs in Vegas and in Delaware for some reason. I don't actually know the reason. Our attorney has told us this. Other attorneys have told us this, and we believe them. And that's why. So you can do that. You can actually open an LLC, and who cares? Open in Delaware, Vegas, whatever you want, and you can buy properties all you want, put it into that LLC. Now, do you have a lot of properties now?
I own 7 rental properties, and 4 of them are in California. 3 are outside of California.
Are they in your name or are they in LLCs?
You're going to kill me for this. They're in my name.
All right. Now,
Well, they're in my living trust, anyway.
they're in a living trust, which is much better than being in your own name. By the way, that's what we teach. We teach trusts all the time. So the trust owns the properties.
Well, 4 California properties, yes. I have them in my living trust.
Okay.
Now, the 3 that are outside of California, no, they're in my name.
Okay, so the ones in your name you can move into a trust. But here's what I'm going to ask you, because a lot of people make this mistake, and it's mostly the attorney's laziness, is what I'm going to say, that caused this.
Mm-hmm.
Is each property in its own trust, or do you have all the properties in one trust?
All my California properties are in my own living trust.
Yeah,
So
they're
all
one
grouped
single
together.
trust, right? One single trust. Yeah. So we're going to teach you.
yes.
If you start hanging around us, and by the way, we have students from California all the time. So if you want to come online, you can come online this Thursday at investorschooling.com. Feel free to do that. We're going to teach you to put all your properties in
Okay.
separate trusts. So each property is in a separate trust, and then you can have that flow, the beneficiary, into your living trust or into your LLC, and that way you can have protection from property to property, because all of your properties, all the properties in the same entity, no matter what it is, living trust or LLC, are now joined in any lawsuits. So we're going to teach you how to separate that.
Right.
And again, we're not attorneys, but
Yeah.
we teach this, and
Right.
you can always check it with your attorney in the end.
Yeah, the number one, the reason for the question is I want to avoid paying $850 times 4
Right. For LLCs.
in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah. So we're going to
Right.
teach you how to create a trust,
So-
and you can create a trust in seconds and not have to pay $850 at all. Not to pay anything if you know how to do it by yourself. We have we have a document that we recommend you have your attorney look over, but at the same time you could once he looks it over and likes it, you could do your own trust after it, or you could use him to do it. It's still a lot less than $850.
Yeah. Can I just share a real quick story? My dad passed away last year,
Okay.
2020. He had a living trust, and his house, personal house, was in the living trust. I jacked around trying to get an estate attorney. You're going to. I heard Larry talk about this before. $20,000 from one estate attorney,
Yep.
$9,000 retainer only from another estate attorney. Ended up paying $1,000 to some estate attorney out here. In the end, I did like 90% of the work myself. And I thought, why did I why use an attorney? Because when I sold my dad's house, real estate agent accepted it. I was the successor trustee. The title accepted it. Escrow accepted
Yeah.
it. In fact, title filed it's the affidavit of death of beneficiary, because my dad was
Right.
the trustee, right?
So who was
so-
the beneficiary of the trust? It was you?
Well, I became the successor trustee, right?
No,
'Cause
no, I
when
understand,
my dad
but the
passed
trustee's
away-
fine. But who was the beneficiary? Was it his estate, or an LLC, or you?
Oh, no. It's me and my sister.
Oh yeah, so this was so easy. Yeah, I mean you're right. This was so easy, but the fact that you did it for $1,000 is fine too, because at least you had a little bit of guidance. That's great. But this is exactly why we
Right.
teach trust, because you're right. You don't need to go through probate in a trust. That's what makes one of the greatest reasons to use a trust. And it sounds like you're following in his footsteps, and it sounds like you're pretty bright. And I'd like to see you. I'd like to talk to you this Thursday. Come to class, via Zoom, and we'll talk to you then. I know it's 4:00 by you, instead of 7:00 here, but it's 4:00 by you, and you'll be live, and I'm looking forward to talking to you. But we do need to move on, Art, but I appreciate the call, and I appreciate the kind words.
You, sir. You guys got it, and I'll be on board on Thursday. Thanks a lot.
Awesome,
Bye-bye.
thanks. All right, Phil, what do we got next?
So you want to talk about hedge funds like BlackRock still buying up entire neighborhoods?
Yeah, you put that in there. I don't know the answer to that question. So it basically says, are hedge funds like BlackRock still buying up entire neighborhoods? I have no idea. What do you think?
I've been watching some videos online about exactly that.
Really?
That they are still doing it, and I'm surprised. I think right now you would think this is a serious tipping point coming, if not this year and maybe next year. But
So how do hedge funds make money? Do you know?
well, sure, they raise money, so
Right, and
it's
they
not
raise
really
money,
their
right,
money,
exactly.
and
And they
It's-
make money off of whether they make money up front, and if the values goes down, or the hedge fund goes down, they don't lose as much money as the investors do. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing; it just happens to be that way. So yeah, they're trying to make money for their investors for as long as they can.
so they're raising a bunch of money. They're making what they consider a pretty safe move, and I suppose it probably can be. Depends on what happens,
Yeah.
right? If the market continues for another 5-6 years with this crazy situation that we're in now with this lack of inventory, and if people like BlackRock are buying up entire neighborhoods, it makes it hard to have any inventory, doesn't it?
Yeah, you are right, but there's no inventory anyway. They're having a tough time finding inventory too. But they may be building new houses.
That's what I think they're
Yeah.
doing. They're buying builders' developments.
But how could they buy houses with the price of lumber?
Yeah, right. So I think what they're doing is they simply know that let's just say that smaller units or duplexes are being built in a neighborhood. They come in with the big bucks and they make one
Sure.
deal. And they go, look, we heard you're breaking ground. We'll take them all.
Hey, maybe we'll be lucky and they'll go to Philadelphia and they'll make Philadelphia look nice again. And then when the prices go down, we'll buy those houses.
Philadelphia looking nice again would be like trying to climb Mount Everest.
Yeah,
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, they would need to have Republicans in there for 25 years to make it look nice again.
Yeah, I think there was a Republican once in like 1980 maybe.
Was there? I didn't even know.
Yeah, he was mayor for maybe 2 years. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it was a real anomaly there.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so does the individual investor need to act now?
Does an individual investor need to act now?
Okay, so
yeah, well,
kind of tie it into the BlackRock thing. Okay?
Okay.
You got these big companies coming in. If they're really doing what I'm indicating they might be doing, coming in and buying up entire neighborhoods, it's certainly homeowners are going to be affected by it, not necessarily investors, but it makes the investor think, maybe I ought to get busy buying some more real estate.
so the question comes up a lot, and students will ask, non-students will ask, people will ask you and I, hey, is it a good time to buy real estate, especially with the prices so high? And we always have the same answer. It's always a good time to buy real estate. Always. It doesn't mean that you have to go buy the real estate that's overpriced. Go find a deal out there. There are deals out there. There are always deals out there. If you're looking on the MLS and you're working with a realtor, you're not going to find them. If you're going out and you're talking to people who are selling houses or in certain situations, some people are in foreclosure, some people are getting divorced, some people are they're hoarders and they don't want people coming through their house. These are the people you need to find. And you're not going to find them just sitting on your tush and waiting for them to come to you. You have to actually do something. Maybe mail them, maybe talk to your friends, neighbors, and then, yeah, you're going to be able to find these deals. I find these deals because I mail people. You find these deals, you call. How many people do you call a week?
50.
You call 50 people a week, right?
No, you can do that, and you can make about 50 phone calls in a 2-hour period.
Right.
But, how many leads are you going to get from that? One would be, depends on what you're calling for.
Right.
If you're just calling houses, if you could get 1 lead a day from making phone calls, which virtually are free, you just have to buy a list of people that you want to call. It's pretty economical.
Yeah, I agree. All you need to do is just do the work. Most of the people come to us at first, they think, oh, I'm just going to become a real estate investor by hanging around Phil and Larry. Well, that's not going to happen. You have to do some work. And that's what we also teach the work, because some people are confused by the work. They don't know what to do. But we will teach you the work. And when you learn the work, you will then do the work and you'll make money. Why don't we hit a commercial real quick and then we'll come back?
Let's do it.
All right. And 1, 2, 3, commercial.
Phil Falcone from InvestorSchooling.com. I'm inviting you to a complimentary class.
It didn't want to go right away.
Okay. Would the echo on our side or your side?
Uh,
215-876-300.
yeah, every once in a while the bus.
'em. Be there this Thursday night at 7 o'clock in our Langhorne headquarters. Go to investorschooling.com. Pull over right now. Take out your phone and go to investorschooling.com. RSVP right now. Investorschooling.com. See you Thursday.
Hi, I'm Phil Falcone from Executech Suites. We're an executive suite center in Huntington Valley on Buck Road, 67 Buck Road, Huntington Valley. I'm sure you've driven past it. We're right in between Street Road and County Line Road. We have 47 offices in the prestigious address of Huntington Valley. I have offices starting at $595 a month. You're probably wondering, Phil, what do I get for $595 a month? Let me tell you. You get an office big enough for one person. You get the furniture in that office. You get the telephone on the desk. You get the telephone numbers. You get the fax numbers. You get 2 full-time receptionists to answer the phone in the name of your company and patch the calls to you. So if your company's ABC Painting Company, hey, ABC Painting Company, how can I help you? Would you like to talk to Bob? Let me get him on the phone. You could be home sleeping on your couch and I'll patch the calls right to you. What else do we give you? We give you the conference rooms. We give you the kitchen. We give you the mailboxes, the printer, the copier, the scanner, UPS service, you name it. All of the utilities, cleaning service, and best of all, we give you free coffee. Get yourself to Executech Suites. Phone number is 215-942-7701. 215-942-7701. Executechsuites.com.
Hey, it's Larry Steiners from InvestorSchooling.com. Hey, listen, one of the things we teach in Investor Schooling is stock options. Did you know that you can make 50, 100, 150% returns every year trading stock options? Yes, I know there's risk, but I'm going to tell you right now that some of the things we teach will help you mitigate that risk. Could you imagine when you look at your return and it shows 100% returns? You will be really happy. Come to a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. You can RSVP at investorschooling.com.
All right, back in 10.
You will learn stock options trading, of course. You will also learn real estate investing. Come to investorschooling.com. We will see you there Thursday night.
And you're back.
All right. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Investor Schooling Live. Hey, we're transmitting from Investor Schooling headquarters, aren't we, Phil?
Yes, we are.
Is it the Investor Schooling Network? Is that what we are now?
The Investor Schooling Network.
The Investor Schooling Network. You know, our ex-buddy, Rush Limbaugh, I guess not really buddy, but, whatever. We're not really ex either.
So have you read some of these questions that are up there?
I see there's a couple of questions up there on Facebook, sure.
One of them says, do you think it might be a better time to buy in 2022 or 2023 as the first rental property in the future, more so than now buying it with it being a seller's market?
I think we kind of just answered that question, though, didn't we? Which a little while ago we said, yes, now's the time to buy houses. Just find the right deal. It's always time to buy houses. Just find the right deal. If you're paying $20,000, $30,000 over asking price, you're not getting a deal. If you're out there actively looking for deals, you're going to get a deal. And I think the question may even be alluding to when is the crash? When do you think the crash is? I think the crash is right around there. 2022, 2023 will be the crash. And I don't know if it'll be the height of the crash yet, but the market will start to come down. I wouldn't wait. If you're getting good cash flowing properties and they're paying the mortgage and you're putting $200-$300 in your pocket every month, why wait? Who cares? So what? You're gonna hold the property long enough, it's gonna come back and go back up again anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
If you lose some perceived equity, you'll regain it back.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so yeah, it's not a terrifying thing.
Yeah, I don't even know what my property. Some of my properties are worth. I found out my car went up in value.
Well,
my Corvette went up in value.
Maybe you should make an Excel chart about your properties.
I do.
And how much you owe on it, and how much you think they're worth today, because it's just a good thing to do.
Yeah, I actually do that, but I have to have to update it. That's the only problem.
An old friend of mine, Alan Apt, says that I need a haircut.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
And then I put my hat on because I noticed that I need hair.
What'll be a shock to Alan is I just got a haircut a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I know. And he looks like Ben Franklin. So if you've never met Phil, and you will absolutely think that he looks like Ben Franklin, or Christopher Lloyd.
Emmett Brown from
Emmett Brown,
Back
right?
to
Christopher
the
Lloyd,
Future.
exactly right. So Christopher Lloyd and Ben Franklin had a baby, and it's Phil Falcone.
Okay.
Wait, I forgot to say, if you guys have any questions, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. You've heard some really good questions today, and we'd be more than happy to answer your really good question today. Even if it's a dumb question, we'll still answer it.
Okay, so what do you think of this thing? Was 2020 the first year more new houses were built than the population grew?
I have no idea. What do you think?
I thought it was an interesting statement to make, but I don't know that I believe it.
Was this something that you saw in the news?
Yeah.
Okay, because I had never heard that before.
So they're saying that more homes were built in the year 2020, okay, than the population grew to even need those.
I don't even. Is that even physically possible?
Yeah, it's weird because
maybe percentage-wise.
So if a bunch of babies are born, those babies won't be ready to buy a house for another 20 years.
Yeah, right. So
Right,
it's
so it
we're
doesn't-
right.
I
So
don't
we're
know.
not looking at the houses for the new babies. We're looking for the houses that were bought. The babies were born 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting, so I put it.
Yeah,
on
you
there.
should have told me about that. I would have put up the article. I would have read further into it because that's a really weird one.
Okay, what about this? Is flipping more dangerous now than in recent years?
No, because the seatbelts work a lot better.
You know what I'm talking about. I think it probably is a little bit more dangerous right now.
You think so?
Well, you got to be in a peaked environment. You got some crazy stuff going on nowadays, and I imagine it's going to continue for a while. You got some higher prices and things like lumber and whatnot, but I know it's already been pulled back a little bit.
You think lumber's going to go back to where it was a year ago?
I'm no lumber expert.
Or a year and a half ago?
I mean, we have so many listeners in Portland. One of them should call us and tell us what's going on with lumber, right?
True.
Probably got some experts out there in Portland. We have a couple radio shows that we're running out in Portland all the time. So if you're listening, give us a call, 855-939-1137. Tell us what's going on with lumber out there.
Yeah, and by the way, if you are calling from the other stations, sometimes you won't get us live. We're live 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock on Sundays, and if you're listening any other time by that, you're not live, but still call 855-939-1137 because we will still talk to you. We'll still take your call. I may answer it live. If I don't answer it live, you'll go to my answering machine, and I'll be able to call you back. But definitely give us a call and ask us any questions you have. And, of course, you can visit us at investorschooling.com. So Scott told you to cut your hair and glue it to my head. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
Next time I see Scott, we're gonna have to have a conversation with him.
Well, he's trying to be funny, and
He likes all this attention that we're giving him on the radio.
I think he is a little bit funny.
He
yeah.
is pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
But then again, have you seen Scott's head? He looks like Baby Huey.
I actually play tennis with this guy who's, in my opinion, he's a good-looking guy, but he always has a hat on. Today I saw him without his hat, and he's completely bald.
Oh, that's rough.
Well, he's got this hair on the side, so I didn't actually realize it. But anyway. So one thing about flipping, we're talking about flipping being more dangerous than in recent years, but one thing I would say is that it's really not my favorite strategy to invest. I typically don't like to flip houses. I've done a number of them, but I like to just buy and hold them. I like to just buy them, acquire them, keep them, have somebody pay the rent for 10, 15 years, turn around and find out that the house has doubled in value and say, geez, that wasn't too hard. And, you make improvements to the house, and you make your monthly payments every month, and you pay your taxes all with the tenant's rent. So somebody else is paying all the bills, and all you're really doing is managing it. And that's my favorite way to buy. Buy and hold is the way I started in this business in 1989, and it's really the primary strategy that I still employ today.
I have never flipped a house.
Well, you probably should do one just for the heck of it.
Well, I've done everything but sell it. I keep them. So I buy the house, messed up condition, whatever, renovate it, but then I rent it. I've never actually flipped a house. And the funny part was, well, you and I were going to flip a house together, but we sold it. We sold it 4 days after we bought it because somebody offered us some ridiculous amount of money for it, and we took it. And then we had another one that I was gonna flip, and same thing happened. They offered me a ridiculous amount of money to not flip it. I was better off just taking it. So the two that I actually wanted to flip, it didn't happen. So I decided not to do it.
Well, did you buy either one of those?
Well, we bought the one, and we sold it 4 days later, right?
The one in New Jersey.
Right, the one in New Jersey.
You bought the one in New Jersey
Right.
and sold it.
And then we had the other, and I had another one that I bought.
Whatever happened with the other one? I don't remember that one.
I actually ended up selling it as a lease option, and the guy who lease optioned it from me did a renovation, which was kind of cool. So he did a renovation while he was on a lease option, and then he sold it I had a certain price. He sold it at a certain price, and I actually still owned it. When we went to closing, I just gave him the difference of the lease option. It was actually a really good idea, and it gave him built-in financing because he paid me the money instead of him having to go out and get him financing for it. That's a really cool deal. I can't explain over the radio because it's too difficult to me moving parts. But if anybody ever comes into Investor School and they want to hear about it, it'd be pretty neat. So we have, is it Julio or Julio?
Yeah, it's Julio. How you doing?
What's going on, man? Talk to me.
Oh, not a whole lot. All right, so it's first time caller, first time listener. Actually, heard your commercial a lot of times, but I was lucky enough to come across you guys today. All right, so this is what I got going on. A prior veteran using a VA loan, to own a condo. We have it now.
Hey, Julie, I got. Hold on one second. It's really difficult to hear you. Are you on a Bluetooth or anything?
No, I got the headset on.
Yeah, you know what? Can you take it off?
I go to the
Yeah, if you could use the regular phone, it might be
absolutely.
better because it's difficult to hear you.
You got it. You got it. Hold on a second. Come on now.
It's actually worse.
You hear me now?
It's actually worse.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, go ahead and tell us.
Yeah, try. Let's see if we
Hold
can.
on a second. I got another option. Hold on a second. How about now, guys? How about now?
Yeah, it's not that great. Listen. I'll tell you what. Why don't you come into the school on Thursday, and we'll do what we can to help you. Unfortunately, it's just really hard to understand you. So yeah, just go to investorschooling.com, sign up, come in Thursday, free class, and grab us afterwards and tell us who you are, and we'd love to talk to you about it. I'm sorry about that. I just couldn't understand you. All right, where are we? Are we? We got a little bit more time before Stock Option Sultan comes in. What else? We got another question?
No,
Does anybody like?
but we could talk about anything you want.
What do you want to talk about?
Real estate, stock options.
You want to talk about Pedro's garden? Pedro's building a garden.
You want to talk about Father's Day?
Yes, we must talk about Father's Day. How
All right. So let's talk a little bit about Father's Day.
How terrible of me. I can't believe. First of all, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Today is Sunday that we're recording this. So happy Father's Day. If you're listening during the week, I hope you had a great Father's Day. And you went to see your father today, right?
I did. I went to spend some time with my father today.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I know it's a little tough, but that's it's good to see that you got to go out to see him.
Well, something you got to do, right?
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, my father was too far away before he passed on. He was too far away to visit him on a regular basis, so I didn't get the opportunity you have. You get to see him a lot, which is great. All right, cool. And everybody out there, I hope you all have a great Father's Day. My wife's father and mother are coming over today, and we're gonna have a little bit of a picnic. and I'm looking forward to that too. So happy Father's Day, Dave.
A picnic?
Yeah, whatever, a Father's Day thing.
I mean, you're gonna sit on a blanket and eat fried chicken?
Yes, fried chicken, absolutely, and
Can I have
and hot dogs and hamburgers.
hot dogs?
Yeah.
Fried chicken?
Yeah, no,
No, fried. I'd go with the fried chicken, not the hot dogs.
no.
I think hot dogs. If you Google the worst food on the planet, hot dogs generally come up number 1, and number 2 is mayonnaise. So if you put mayonnaise on your hot dog, it's like cyanide. Speaking of that, can I get you a hot dog, Larry?
I'm kind of afraid that after that, I might actually be in trouble.
Is that some kind of new noise? That's very scary music.
That's a very long sound effect. I had to stop it. All right, I think it's time for
Stock option sorting. Stock option Sultan.
Yeah, we kind of went into some weird land there for a minute, so we had to go back into reality. Stock options, all right, I'm telling you, I think this is going to be an ugly week in the market, and I'm going to take my clue from Bitcoin and Ethereum again, because they are both down again. Actually, Ethereum was below 2,000 for a split second there, and Bitcoin was below 33,000 again, and I don't like it. It's getting ugly. I think people are getting scared, and they're starting to move their money out. Gold and silver are absolute plays right now. I hate to say it, but JNUG, for all you guys know, the JNUG is my absolute nemesis. At 85, which it is at right now, is the play. 85 is the play. I got to tell you, 85, and just ride it slightly up. Don't go that far. Go to 100 max, and I think it's a play. So if you want to be in it, that's great. If it goes below 80, I'd buy it again. But I would buy it out a little while. Don't buy it out don't buy it out 45 days. Maybe buy it out 90 days, and I think you'll be not only be very safe, you'll be very happy. It's just the play. It's the right number. And then
my hand was shaking as I wrote down JNUG.
I know, me too. For you guys who know us, you know that JNUG was a really bad play for us in February. It lost a lot of money on that because it did not do what it was supposed to do, and sure enough, it happens. That's why stock options have their risk. SLV also at 24. I think that might be a little high. If it could go down to 22, I'd like it. You know what? We did one the other day, AAL at 22, and I thought that was an awesome play. I texted the entire school to buy AAL when it hit below 22. That's going to be a really good play because the world's going to start to open up. I mean, the world's already opened up, and then come September, maybe President Braindead will not renew the mask mandate.
Well, one thing that you just said is really important. I want to share it with the audience.
What's that, President Braindead?
No.
Oh.
No. Is that one of the things that Larry does at the school, or the stock option Sultan does at the school, is when he makes a move, he'll text it out to the whole school. So you will get the opportunity to get these picks via a text. And most of the students here will follow those texts very closely and make the moves. So how'd you like to have somebody helping you to make stock picks, telling you when to buy it, when to sell it, that kind of thing? It's a great thing that you get if you become a member of Investor Schooling. So get your butt to Investor Schooling this Thursday night at 7 p.m.
There you go. Hey, Linda, call in and tell us what we're having that's better than hot dogs. Linda was listening, and she put on the chat that we're having much better much better stuff than hot dogs. So quickly call, because we only got 2 more minutes. Quickly call and tell Phil what we're going to happen. What we're going to have 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. It's like this whole chat's going on Facebook. If you're not watching on Facebook, it's actually an hysterical Facebook day.
I'm actually envisioning a red and white checkered blanket with a basket of fried chicken.
No. Red and white.
Yeah, red and white.
My blankets will be red, white, and blue. Yeah, all right, whatever. So
you don't want to be eating on an American flag.
That's right. That's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful.
Absolutely, you're right.
And if you spill the fried chicken on it, that's not good.
No. I gotta get back into the stock market over here somewhere. All right, Facebook. By the way, the SPY, is where are we now in the SPY? The SPY is at 413. I call this one. I told you it's going to drop. I told you 420 was the strike price for a put. I still think the SPY is going to go below 400 before. I'm even going to say, and it's good. And don't get too greedy on this one. 390 would be the absolute worst, but I think 397, 398 if you're getting a put would be the play, and I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen soon. Every time I say it's going to happen this week, I'm wrong. So I'm not going to say it's going to happen this week. So maybe it'll happen this week. How's that for a good idea?
I think that works.
Yeah, exactly. And then we got my other nemesis, the second nemesis, which is Baba. Oh, man. That was another killer. That one hurt me big time. And Baba, this is one that I believe should be in the 250s, but it may go down first before it goes up, which is great. I'd like to see this 205 or below, and I would jump in and I'd ride it back up to 220s if you could. So below 200 would be fabulous. Fabulous. So
I think your wife is turning our show into a cooking show.
I know. She's hot crab dip, then grilled chicken sandwiches, ending with chocolate cake and ice cream. That's what we're having. That's going to be a pretty good Father's Day, don't you think?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
I might just stop by and have some kind of random question.
Hey, Linda, is Phil welcome to stop by? Let us know. All right, what do we got? We got a whole nother minute.
We have a whole minute.
A whole minute. A whole entire minute. Use that whole entire minute up, Phil.
I think I can do that.
Speak slowly.
So, you can check us out at investorschooling.com. If you behave yourself and you come out to a class, we might even invite you to another complimentary class. You can always call us during the week if you want to talk to us at 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137.
No, you got another 45 seconds.
Okay, great. So Thursday night is a night you want to come out at 7 p.m. You can attend via Zoom or you can show up physically at our headquarters, which is 108 Corporate Drive in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, 19047. And we are currently taking this broadcast that you've been listening to today, and we are on 10 different stations, 72 shows a month, 18 shows a week. And we're all over the place. We're in Philly, we're in New Jersey, we're in Portland, Oregon, and we are in San Francisco, and we are out of here.
See you guys.